Hey everyone, it's Ben from The Ben Scented. Thanks for stopping by, and if you're new, make sure to subscribe and press that notification button so you're always up to date with my newest videos. Today I'm going to talk about a Parisian niche fragrance house that is run by the perfumer herself. And this is no other than the House of Dusita. Stick around and see my top 5 fragrances from the House of Dusita. Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to talk about the House of Dusita. The House of Dusita is considered to be haute parfumerie, which translated would mean something along the lines of high-end fragrance. So what makes Dusita high-end? First of all, the House of Dusita was created by perfumer Pisada Uma Vijani. Please excuse me if I butchered the name. Pisada is of Thai descent and taught herself to become a perfumer. Her house has received many awards. Pisada's fragrances are largely composed of natural, top quality raw materials. All the fragrances are vegan and cruelty-free. The name Dusita means paradise in Thai. And as such, all the fragrances are intended to sparkle joy and elicit happiness. Now, as mentioned, all the fragrances are composed by Pisada herself. She also creates illustrations for each fragrance, capturing the fragrance essence. And it is my understanding that all the fragrances of the House of Dusita pay tribute to the poetic legacy of her father, MONTRI Uma Vijani. Now that we know a little bit more about the house, let's dive right in and let's talk about my top 5 fragrances from the House of Dusita. Now, before we get into my top 5, I do want to make one honorable mention, and that is Oud Infini. Now, for those of you who have followed me and who know me, know that I love oud, and I absolutely adore all types of oud. Now, the reason I mentioned this as an honorable mention is because, to my nose, this is a beautiful oud rose fragrance with a very authentic oud. Given, however, that this fragrance is made in Paris and is aimed towards Westerners, this may be considered to be a skanky oud, which I definitely understand. I really don't mind the barnyardy oud as long as it is very well done and well created. Wow. This is a beautiful Laotian oud with rose de May or May roses, Tunisian orange blossom at the top notes. At the middle, we have sandalwood and benzoin. And as the base notes, we have civet, musk, and Madagascar vanilla. To my nose, this is not as barnyardy as oud fragrances can get, but I can see how for Western noses, this may be relatively barnyardy compared to other Western oud combinations. So for that reason, I'm putting it as an honorable mention. But if you want a beautiful Laotian oud rose combination, relatively easy on the rose, got a little civet, so it is a little more animalic, but a beautiful Laotian oud, this may be something you want to get your nose onto. INFINI by Dusita. Before we move on to my top 5 fragrances, all of these fragrances can be found on scentsplit.com, and you can either buy the full bottles or decants to get your nose on them. Now, with that out of our way, let's jump right into it. At spot number 5, we have La Douceur de SIAM. Now, La Douceur de SIAM means the sweetness of Thailand. Siam is an old way to say Thailand. This is a tropical floral fragrance. At the top, we have champaka. At the heart, we have May rose. And at the base, we have sandalwood. Frangipani, ylang ylang, some clove, some vanilla, and amber. This is a beautiful fragrance. It's called Sweetness of Thailand. In my opinion, this is not really a very sweet fragrance. It is beautiful, it's floral, does not go over to the sweet realm, and under no circumstances is this a gourmet fragrance. Now, it does have something tropical about it. It reminds me of something ethereal and graceful. I can see somebody wearing this with a very graceful stature. This is not a day-to-day fragrance unless you're a very elegant person, or at least that's what you want to smell. Now, the idea behind the fragrance is that when smelling this, it should remind us of a late afternoon stroll through a blooming Siamese garden or Thai garden. It is gorgeous. You get the florals. It's tropical, but it is not sweet to the extent of making it a sweet fragrance. This is beautiful, elegant, and graceful. La Douceur de SIAM. At spot number 4, we have La Rhapsodie Noire. Now, La Rhapsodie Noire is an eau de parfum. It is a gourmand fougere. You got lavender and sage at the top, brew, mimosa, and jasmine sambac. In the middle, you have coffee, tobacco, and rum. And at the base, you have tonka bean, vanilla, oak, vetiver, patchouli, sandalwood, and oak moss. This one is absolutely gorgeous. It reminds me of listening to jazz at a Parisian nightclub in the 1920s. It's got something very classy about it, but it brings out like vibrant, pleasurable nighttime. It is absolutely gorgeous. Now, if many of you think of Jazz Club by Maison Margiela, that's completely different. 2 different pair of shoes, got nothing to do one with the other. But this one definitely has the high quality. It reminds me of true class, true beauty, something truly elegant that sticks. So at number 4, La Rhapsodie Noire. Spot number 3, we have Rosarine. Now, this is an eau de parfum. It's a gourmand floral. You guys know I love my rose. This is a rose fragrance. It is absolutely amazing. This is truly radiant, alluring, and it brings out something passionate, which you can see also in the notes. At the top, we have Bulgarian rose, lychee, raspberry, and bergamot. In the heart notes, we have May rose, ambrette, incense, jasmine sambac, orris, and amiris. And at the base notes, we have patchouli, vanilla, sandalwood, vetiver, benzoin, and cacao. Now, even though it's classified gourmand floral, it is not super sweet. It's there, it reminds you of some food, but it is so gorgeous. An idyllic spring day at the Parc de Bragatelle Rose Garden. It is beautiful. It has rose in the name. It's got different types of rose. It's got some lychee, some raspberry. It is a beautiful fragrance. Now, it is considered a gourmand, but it does not go all the way to become overly foody, overly sweet, remind you really of food. Yes, you can smell the lychee, to a certain extent the cacao, but it does not go all the way to become overly sweet or overly gourmand. It touches upon gourmand, and that's exactly why I love it. Rosarine by Dusita. At spot number 2 is Pelagos. Now, Pelagos is not the newest fragrance because a new Dusita is already underway. A true gourmand this time. But Pelagos is a 2024 creation. It is considered to be a woody marine, and it is absolutely gorgeous. If you like marines, you're gonna definitely appreciate it. And if you don't like marine fragrances, you should definitely give this a try. It is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance that truly brings fresh air, and it feels like you're at the waterfront and feel the invigorating air of the sea and the ocean coming your way. It is absolutely gorgeous. The notes we have here are at the top: cypress, clary sage, pine, oak moss, bergamot, orange, and something called Lycia cubeba, also known as Mei Chang. It is a lemony accord. It gives a citrus smell, a lemony smell. Forgive me if I butchered the name. At the heart notes, we have thyme, orris, jasmine, and tonka bean. And at the base, we have sandalwood, vetiver, amiris, patchouli, ambrette, incense, and benzoin. So like I said, it gives the idea of a marine fragrance, but it's not a true marine to the extent where if you don't like marines, you won't like this. I'm pretty sure that whoever smells this will like this. Again, like I mentioned, you can find all fragrances over at ScentSplit or get decants at scentsplit.com as well. This one is a truly dynamic fragrance, and it reminds me of fresh air of the ocean. Now at spot number 1, we have MONTRI. Now, as I briefly mentioned, MONTRI is the name of Pissarra's father. This is an homage to him. It's a spicy, woody eau de parfum. It is gorgeous. So this one smells like pure sophistication. It's elegant. It's truly something you can either wear every day, something you can wear with a suit if you wear a suit every day, or on a special occasion. It's truly something, in my opinion, that you can wear all year round. At the top, we have saffron, dried fruits, nutmeg, oregano, petitgrain, cinnamon, and coriander. At the heart notes, we have May rose, damask rose, leather, orris root, ylang ylang, and jasmine sambac. And at the base, we have sandalwood, patchouli, oak, vetiver, tonka bean, cedar, and of course, oud palau. Now, this fragrance is not very oudi. I would say if you're afraid of oud, which you should never be, oud is a beautiful note that has existed for hundreds, if not thousands of years. But the oud in here is really slightly detectable after around hour 7 to 8. It's a sweet oud. It is not as animalic. It could be compared to a Western accord of oud. I'm sure this is real oud in here just because I know that Pisara actually uses real oud, as mentioned in my honorable mention of Oud Infini. This is the opposite of it. It is a spicy wood fragrance for every day. This fragrance reminds us of late nights, reminiscing and dreaming of past and future travels. It is a beautiful, sophisticated fragrance, which is inspiring to a certain extent. This fragrance, in my opinion, gives you true elegance. It is a fragrance that you smell after 10 hours, but it is not overwhelming. My number one Dusita fragrance, MONTRI. Thank you so much for sticking around. I absolutely love the house of Dusita. Pisara's creation are absolutely gorgeous. You can get the full bottles or decants of them at scentsplit.com. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and press the notification button so you always know when I upload new videos. Thank you for sticking around, and as always, stay scented.